11 minutes moving away from the hour. We're going to be starting policing with you earlier than usual this morning. Reason being, we have to break to get ready for our outside broadcast this morning. We'll be covering the press conference, the first press conference of Music Festival. Let me say good morning to Inspector Alric Edwards in the studio with me this morning. How are you doing today, sir?
Good morning, GQ. Good morning to those of you listening via radio, internet, or whatever social media platform. I am Alric Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. On the threshold of this year's 2022 cenkus Music Festival and White Sands, it will be remiss of us, meaning the War St. Christopher and his police force, to not make an effort to sensitize the general public of some sensitive information about White Sands and Festival for this year. So this morning, my guest is Superintendent Travis Rogers, the tactical commander and my immediate supervisor. He has been appointed by the Police High Command, the police representative on the St. Kitts Music Festival Planning Committee. Just to inform you all listening that Superintendent Rogers will have to leave prematurely, as indicated by GQ. He has to attend the first Music Festival Committee press briefing at St. Kitts News Marriott at 10 o'clock. Superintendent Rogers, good morning, and can you please introduce yourself to the listening audience?
Okay, thank you, Inspector Edwards. I'm thankful for being here this morning. It's actually 2 in a row. Last week was here, so today will generally be a reminder. And as you said, we're on the threshold of the commencement of the St. Kitts Music Festival beginning this evening. It's a big day. It has been lots of work, and then the final stages and preparation we're here. So it leaves me to give the final words. All right. So I am appreciative to be here to keep the public informed and to let them know what they can and can't do.
Thank you, sir. Let's go straight into the meat of the matter this morning. So, my boss, when is the event scheduled to begin?
Okay, thank you. The St. Kitts Music Festival is scheduled to kick off with a bang at 7:30 this evening, with gates opening at 6. All the necessary planning has been put in place. Our gates will be thrown back at 6, and the event starts promptly at 7:30.
Thank you, sir. Can you tell us where the location is?
Okay, that will be the Kim Collins Stadium in Birdwalk, and that venue is the second time that we're hosting the music festival there, and it's a beautiful venue. It's well laid out. I mean, I encourage persons to have a look before they even attend tonight, so that they could be aware as to where they will be going, and so that they won't come afoul with certain restrictions that are in place at this time.
Thank you. You talk about layout. Can you talk about the layout for me of the venue?
Yeah. Okay. The stage this year has been put from the north to south. That is, if you know how it's situated, the stadium itself and the football field, running from the Hobson's Enterprises end to the Warner's One Stop end. So the stage would be at the Hobson's Enterprises end, and then the other VIP tents would be, our boxes would be on the Warner's One Stop end, but in the center portion of the track and field itself. So basically on the football field. Yeah, and that is our first time trying it this way, so we would see how things work out.
Thank you, sir. Tell us about the parking arrangement that is in place for a music festival this year.
Before I go into that, I want the public to know that security and traffic flow and parking is 2 critical components to the overall success of the music festival. Just 2. There are lots of other things that is done behind the scenes and organized, but I want to talk about the responsibility that falls within my scope: security and traffic flow. Now, there would be one way around the stadium. So you come from down the Rams end, KFC end, come all the way up there, you will be allowed to go straight up to Birdwalk, swing left on the one side road, heading up that road there, past the top of the stadium. You can't go across left on the top of the stadium, where you pass this top and then you swing through the other left. So not the left immediately after the stadium. You go further up, and then from the Hobson's Enterprise end, that you could go up towards Old Moon's direction, flow one way. When you reach to the Seymour Road and the other road by the doctor, I think is Dr. Huggins or something like that, you could go through both ways, but it would be one way flow around. And this is done for emergency purposes and for a better control of the traffic, so that we have a smooth flowing, and for the acceptance of the emergency vehicles. If anything happens in the festival, whether they need to get out and get in, they have a smooth flow going around the stadium. There will be absolutely no parking around the stadium, no parking whatsoever. If you go there now, you would see scores and scores of cones, an indication that you shouldn't park. So we're urging the public, don't move the cones, don't park alongside the cones. This festival is ours, cenkus, and I could include Nevis personnel, and it's international, and we want the success of this festival depends a lot on you, what you listen today, what you have listened before, and what you will listen in the future, so that the police, enforcing the restrictions would have minimal job to do if you adhere to what we are saying today.
Thank you, Superintendent. You spoke about cones being erected and barriers and so to kind of road people differently. Let us talk about the vending, because vending pose a big problem too.
Yes.
And they have to erect their stalls, may hinder traffic flow and those sort of things. So let's talk about vending.
Okay, that's correct, Inspector Edwards. And you know, it's an important question for me, because I was there last night in and around the stadium, and there was absolutely no vendors set up on the outside. Now, this morning we visited there and we see vendors setting up stalls in and around the vicinity. This is a no-no. First thing, the basketball court, which is at the entrance point for one of the areas, you cannot vend there. And the vicinity and the side of the music festival event, you cannot vend there. We're urging our people not to set up any vending, whether it be a barbecue grill, a tent, whatsoever, in and around the festival. If they do that, we're going to talk to them in a professional manner. We're going to advise them, and I'm hoping that they're listening now. And then if they fail to move, we will have to move them accordingly. So we're asking the public, please do not vend in and around the St. Kitts Music Festival. Sorry, let me say not in, because persons can vend inside, of course, but that is organized, that is arranged through the music festival, and they can do that. But on the outside of the fencing, people usually set up grills, bars with drink selling. That will not be allowed. So please, people, do not infringe our music festival rules, do not infringe the laws of the land, because we ask that persons do not vend all over the place, and vending are designated for certain location.
Can you explain the parking arrangement, where you can park?
Okay, yeah, that's important and key. Parking for the music festival is the onus of the patrons. However, for the VIP, we have designated an area within the stadium, which is about 140 car slots for VIP to enter the Warner's one-stop location, that big gate around there where you normally drives in, and you have parking in that vicinity from the Kim Collins Stadium come right around to the bleachers, and there is a first come first serve basis. It's only 140 slots made available for our VIP people. So remember to come to the music festival early and on time, so you have the time to adjust if you didn't get any parking within the stadium. Now, for the normal patrons, we say no parking around the stadium, so that would be enforced greatly. We will have our officers on site, our traffic wardens, our island constables, who would be enforcing the restrictions that are in place now. The general patrons, there are other areas, we're asking them to find alternative parking. And I stress this, alternative parking for the general patrons, people. We have designated Port Zante to be one of those areas. The paddock in Newtown's primary school, that can be utilized as well. While you park there, there will be security. Our patrols, our police patrols will be following up ensuring that your vehicle is safe. Again, but this is at your own risk parking. But crime is our business, and we don't want people return to their vehicles and the vehicle is broken into. We're asking the persons who are parking the vehicle, do not leave things open and the seat, so persons who might be lurking around can see things and break your car. We will have shuttles that leaves these parking areas every 10 to 15 minutes, taking them from the parking area up to the stadium. Now, key for this area, we have made some adjustment. Last week we explained certain things in the first music festival launch conference at Emirates. We mentioned it, but during the time of preparing, we see what is happening and we tweak some restrictions. The general public who is coming to the music festival, you see that area across from KFC, the wide road that was adjusted. There's a business there, so there will be a lane for you to come and go to KFC if you wish. But there's also 2 lanes remaining. We would set it up differently to have a checkpoint there. So persons who are coming to drop off persons will drop off persons in that section. When they have dropped off, when they are checked and they have dropped off the persons there, they would allow to go turn around and make the right turn in the road going down to, I think it's one of those bulk gasoline stations just behind of Best Buy and Audibus Bay. So when you travel up, you put off your persons there, you turn right, go back down and head back out from the stadium. The reason we're doing this is because we foresee there would be a bottleneck at the basketball court, and we prefer not to have that bottleneck and the congestion at that area. So that area must be free. So we're asking our people listen. If you don't understand, give us a call or go back onto the police Facebook page, Police in Video, and listen the program again so you could understand. But you cannot pass that area. However, the VIP would be allowed. They will be checked at the checkpoint and they will be allowed to go and park within the stadium. Alright, of course we will have robust vigilance where we observe, we check your pass, we check your ticket, and we see that you belong in the stadium and we allow you. Residents of Birdrock, we must accommodate them, and for the Coast Guard and for the port, they would be allowed to drive and go to their residence. But we are asking as well if Birdrock residents can use alternative pathway. They can drive the Frigate Bay Road, come over in Old Mounds and use the back portion to go down to Suncrest and go to their residence. I know in saying we have a tendency to want to see what is happening, and it's a big festival you want to see, but in doing so you're basically congesting the traffic. So if you have no reason being there other than going home, please choose to and we would respect that because we appreciate the Birdrock residents very well, and we're just asking for your cooperation because cooperation for this music festival is key. Alright, and then the other parking would be selective by personal choices. Alright.
Thank you, sir. Can you outline the emergency exits at the
stadium itself? Okay, for this festival we have 2 main entrances. The one by the basketball court and the one by Warner's One Stop. But there are 2 other gates, and 3 other gates, one at the old parking just behind the stage, and 2 on the upper side where the athletes usually. Those will be used for exit for emergency. And as well as the entrance gates, because the entrance gate, the basketball court, will have a lane for exit, and then the Warner's One Stop would have that area prepared if there's any emergency, any crowd, any serious incident where we have to get out quickly. All gates would be open up and allow people to exit.
Thank you, Superintendent. Can you explain when patrons get in the venue, explain the do's and the don'ts? Okay, yes, that's a key. I would first jump on firearms, personal firearms by persons who own a licensed firearm. This would not be accepted. We would not allow persons to enter the venue with any firearms. Firearms can only be taken into the venue by law enforcement officers, cenkus Defense Force and police officers. But we have put something in place because we don't want you to come to the festival and then go back home without your protection, because that is the first reason why you would acquire the firearm as well. So we're asking you to go to a police station, log it in, and then after the music festival you go back to the station and log it out. You will be asked to sign to verify it's you, and maybe present the ID and your firearm license so you can walk with it, and then you're allowed to go home with your firearms. No weapons of any kind, whether it be knives, bottles, shanks, ice picks, whatsoever. This is a jubilant festival. It's the best in the Caribbean.
if I don't want to say the world, and we want it to be peaceful, and we're asking you not to bring any weapons because it means that you're thinking on violence, and we don't want that at all at our festival. So, and there would be no cannabis or marijuana or ganja, no smoking within the public area, because public smoking is an offense, and if you do that, you will be asked to do a couple of things. You can be arrested, you can be evicted, or you can be warned seriously. But you infringe upon the music festival laws, you infringe upon the laws of the St. Kitts and Nevis, the Federation, and therefore the police would act accordingly. Alright, so we're urging persons to just be on their best behavior. Come out, have fun, be jolly, and enjoy your money's worth.
What time the music festival is expected to finish nightly?
Listed nightly, it would completed at 1:30 p.m. thereabout. And we're keeping our fingers crossed because we're really serious with that. So we're asking our patrons to come to the music festival at 6:30. Get in, enjoy every act from 1 straight down to the last act. Alright, so that is an encouragement. And if persons come early, there would not be the long rush at the gate, the long lines, because persons, I mean, it is expected that we will have in excess of over 4,000 each night. Alright, so we're just encouraging our people to come early, please, because we are finishing promptly at 1:30.
What are some of the main security issues that confronted us over the years in relation to the music festival, and especially for the last music festival?
Okay, last festival we had persons who made attempts to jump the fence. We will have law enforcement and St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force, police and St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force manning these fenced area, and we have to be firm with our officers who are placed there. They will try, but we will get them out if they get in. But we're asking our people, our police officers, our Defence Force personnel to be vigilant and keep our people out. You want to get in? Pay your money at the gate. The other security issue, and I wouldn't say much of security issue, is the traffic flow. The policing plan. Last time there was some really serious congestion. It took about maybe 1 to 2 hours to get people away. But this was a collaborative effort, but should have been between the patrons leaving and the police officers who were placed on the outside. What happened is that the patrons left in the opposite directions. They just completed the festival and they just leave where they wanted to. That would not happen. We would have our people outside to ensure that the flow remains the same. The stadium is closed 1 hour after. We want that all the vehicles that are going to other fringe events after, whether it be strip or at barriers, that they go to these places easily. So traffic was a nightmare, and we intend to ensure that this doesn't happen this time around in 2022.
Thank you. Tell us about video recording, and is those things permitted at the music festival?
Well, I know persons have their phones,
yeah,
and they usually film. There's nothing much that we can do about that, because you will be allowed to come in with your phone. But official videographers are not allowed to film and broadcast the event. The event is being have the official videographers, and those are the person who are allowed to film the event and broadcast when under the auspices of the St. Kitts Music Festival.
Well, lastly, can you explain the White Sand traffic management plan for the White Sands event this year, 2022?
Okay. The White Sand is scheduled for Sunday. I think it's 4 p.m. Parking will be on the Frigate Bellon. Only VIP. The parking at White Sands Carambola would only be for VIP and VVIP. The persons who park on the lawn will be shuttled from the lawn over to the White Sands event. There will be a checkpoint, however, at the bottom of Timothy Hill. That's after you left the roundabout, heading up the hill. There will be a checkpoint there. That checkpoint is in place to ensure who is attempting to go over are VIP or VVIP, and the persons who may be using the ferry to go to Nevis and the residents of the southeastern peninsula. So those are something that we want the public to be aware of. So don't try and come and drive up the hill. You will be turned back and you'll be sent to and there is not enough space over at Carambola to accommodate the number of persons that would be attending. So we're asking our people, just park on the lawn. There will be police officers and traffic wardens to coordinate that. And once that is coordinated, then you get in the shuttle and you're taken over. And likewise, on your return after at midnight, you're going to be shuttled back, taking your vehicle. Your vehicle will be secured by police officers and our patrols. And I think that is for White Sands.
That is White Sands. Beautiful, sir.
Let me say something again in my wrapping up. I want the public to be aware that the parking restrictions and the traffic restrictions were gazetted and passed, and it should be in place from 5 p.m. today and on all the music festival days. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. These restrictions will be Saturday evening.
From when to when?
The 23rd to the 25th. I mentioned it. 5 p.m. to 4 a.m. Yeah, that's correct. Sorry, Inspector Edwards. 5 p.m. this afternoon to 4 a.m. So we're in our jurisdiction. We're following our laws to ensure that we are doing the right things and will not be liable. So we hold you accountable.
Thank you, sir. I'm apologizing for Superintendent Rogers because he has to depart. So we won't be able to solicit calls in this morning. I'm sincerely apologizing for that. So, Superintendent Rogers, anything in wrapping up, sir?
Yes, I want to reinforce a couple of points. The no entry of firearms. That's a no-no. I want to reinforce the point where I'm asking the patients to choose alternative parking and don't try and come up to the stadium. It's limited. So don't come and drive around and rob your chance of getting into the festival early. So you have to plan earlier o'clock. You park in the areas that are designated or the areas that you so choose, because there's a lot of areas but they don't want to call any name. There's some other parking lots close by that will be open and empty, and you can do so. Alright. The Burdock residents choose alternative way to get home, but if you're going to choose the last section, then you would be allowed to go through, so that would be no problem. We would accommodate you. I think that's basically it. No vending, please. No vending. We do not want to get in a police-like mode. We want to be good with everybody, but if you go against and contrary to our laws, we will have to enforce the law in a professional manner. And with that said, I'm just urging us to be on our best behavior, Inspector Edwards. We're urging our police officers to be on their best behavior, to be professional this evening. Tonight is one of our tests again, and there are lots of people, and it's going to be a jolly night. It's going to be a hard night. The executive of the music festival has been working tirelessly for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we want to compliment them for the effort. And we ask our patrons, because the success of this music festival also depends on the patrons. So if we work in collaboration with each other, hand in hand, then we would see a smooth transition into our music festival, and then ready for tomorrow, and then ready for Saturday.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I want to thank you for inviting me. You know, I have to run.
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir. Yes,
and
sir.
I want to get there on time.
Yes,
so, just let us have some fun.
Yes, sir. And I thank you for coming, sir. I know you're busy because you came here sweating, so I know you'll be back and forth.
Yes.
Yes. In my wrapping up, though, you can depart if you wish to.
Okay.
No problem. But I'll wrap up while you leave.
Okay. Thank you. And members of the public, please listen to the warnings, listen to the restrictions, and just have some fun. And I thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Right. So, in my wrapping up, I want to also plead to the general public, those who live in Burdock in particular, to use alternative routes to and from home during the time of music festival. I want to also plead to the patrons at music festival to not permit, well, they are not permitted to stand or dance in the stands or in the bleachers. The pathways, the passageways should be free and clear at all times. Please also be reminded that the entrances are marked, so no one is permitted to jump the fence. Private security agents will be on site to enforce all restrictions. The cooperation from the general public is solicited. GQ, as usual, I want to thank you for being here and assisting. I want to thank the management staff of ZIZ for allowing us to be a weekly. This show is a very important show to the police, and it aids us in communicating. I want to thank those of you, and I want to apologize for to those of you who did not get a chance to call in this morning. We are very busy, and I'm now about to, when I leave here, I'm going to another meeting. So we are all of us very, very, very busy. But please accept my humblest apology for that. But see you guys next week, Thursday. Thank you for listening, and continue to have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Let us unite as one. Oh, love. So many can testify. Love, oh, love. But you still can't satisfy. You keep on praying. You wish that day would come when there'll be equal rights and justice for every man.
Always be sure you settle for more. Get up to 35% off Baker's fully comprehensive vehicle insurance and still cover a whole lot more. Enjoy higher discounts and better coverage for any kind of vehicle, car, SUV or pickup with free loss of